All right, right here it is, the brand new Ninja Foodi Pro pressure cooker, brand new on the market. And we're going to test out the main thing they added, which is the sous vide function. And if you like really good steak, that's an excellent way to cook one. And I've got 4 1.5-inch New York strips. Now I'm only planning on cooking 2 of them, but we'll see how that goes. We're actually going to compare it. I've done this before with other devices. We're going to compare it to my Anova sous vide, which is a circulator, and that's all this thing does, and it's really good at it. So if the Ninja don't hang right beside it, I won't be mad. As long as the Ninja keeps good temps and all, and does well with sous vide, that's going to be a big selling point. I'm also going at the end, I'm not going to do it now, at the end of the video, I'm going to add my version of an unboxing video. And I'll show the artwork on the box, and I'll also show you, what books it come with, the recipe books and all. And then by that time, we'll know how well the sous vide's going to do, and I'm also going to compare it or tell you a little bit about the differences between this, the Pro, the Deluxe, and then like the original 6.5 quart Ninja. So maybe it'll help you make a decision. I'm John Sanders, also known as Jelly 007. Let's get this started. Okay, we're about to get this sous vide test started, and I'm going semi by their instructions, as you will see, but they call for 12 cups of water. I'm going to do everything that they say that I think might affect heating or anything like that. I'm going to do what they say there. So they call for 12 cups of water. You can see on the stamps right there, that's what I have. And now in this one, there's actually 18 cups of water because I like to fill it halfway up, but it won't have a problem with 18 cups, and we're about to see if this one has a problem with 12. Now, they're calling for a 130-degree steak, and that's a lot of times what I cook mine at also. So while these are preheating and getting ready, I'm going to be getting the steaks set up the way I like them in my vacuum sealed bags. So, the first time it's ever been turned on, here we go. And I have no idea how to do anything. I mean, I've read the instructions, so I should, but it came on with no problem. I'm going to press sous vide. It's already at 130. It came to there on its own. I'm just going to hit start. Because really, I don't need to set time yet, because once it preheats, it'll say add food, then I can adjust my time. So to see how well this one heats is against an Anova, I'm going to set this one to 130, and I'm going to hit start. And by the way, that is tap water. That's what they want. They did not want, a lot of people say add hot water. They said fill it with just room temperature water, and that's what both of them had. You can see that one was 75 degrees, and that came from the same place. So see how long that takes, and I'll be back. I forgot to do this part. 9:41. All right, one more thing I think they asked for was to have the lid on. So I put the lid on. It has to be open. So just to make everything accurate, 3 minutes later, I put the lid on. But I did miss 3 minutes without the lid. Okay, so my intentions were that you can see it's 9:47, and look at that. It's already, I don't know what that translates to, but we're 108 over here. I was going to vacuum seal these and get them ready, but I want to be here the minute that says add food. Now, it's been my experience, it doesn't matter how long you leave the water warm. So I'm going to, once that comes up and tells me to add food, I'm going to note the time, and then I'll go vacuum seal these and put the 1 tablespoon of butter per steak as they call for. And just so you'll know, it looks like it's really, really close. It looks like it's going to outrun the Anova, but we're going to see, and then we're going to take a look with the temp on this one, because it obviously doesn't have a temp rating, but we're going to take one. So I'm trying to let this, hopefully it's going to tell me in just a minute to add that food. Well, there it is, and you can see what is right here. It heated that water faster than the Anova did, and that is some kind of impressive. Now, it's already counting. In fact, it's counting seconds. So I'm just going to add time, because once I put these in, then I will set the time. But the first thing I want to do right now is I want to make sure that water is 130. Now I don't know what it's doing here. It's kind of confusing me. And now we're at 5 hours and 29 minutes, I'm assuming, and that's what it looks like, and that's what we are. And I'll change that once I put the steaks in. And you can see it's vented, so we should be able to just take this off, and let's see. Wow! Man! And I would say that's close. I mean, my thermometer could be off, you know, a degree or two. I doubt it is, but right in the center of it, it was 133. I'm looking at 135. Hey, I will take that. That is impressive. Now I'm going to put the lid on, make sure it's vented, just to make sure it doesn't evaporate all my water. Now while I go get these vacuum sealed and get them ready, we'll leave all this running, and you can see the ANOVA's not even there yet. I really don't know what to say there. It's working. I'll put it like that. Be back. All right, just for the record, because I'm still not done with my steak. It's 9:53 in case you want to know, and we're 1 degree away, but it's still not 130. So that's how much faster it was than the ANOVA. I'm impressed. You know, I don't know. I'm gonna go get the steaks ready, and I'll be back. Okay, so I'm back, and here's what they ask for. Once it gets to 130, put the steaks in once you get them ready, and set time for 2 hours. So I have got them what they wanted, which was pretty much 1 tablespoon of butter, light salt and pepper. And like I said, if you want to freeze frame that and look exactly what they say, you can. But they're talking about doing 3 New York strip steaks at the same time in a bag. I think it looks like 1 bag, and using the displacement method. Well, I don't use the displacement method. I've got this, and that's what I always use. And I recommend them if you're going to do a lot of sous vide. I recommend a bag sealer or a vacuum sealer, whatever you want to call it. But we're about to start. This one's made 130. It hadn't been there long, and we're at 9:56. Once I drop them in, I'll set the timer to 2 hours on this machine, and we'll track them both. So I'm going to drop this one right here, and I get this every once in a while. People say I don't check this. So I'm going to show you right here. This one's never off, and I don't know if, I'm hoping you can see that. And you'll just have to take my word if you can't, because I can't do both. 130 dead on. It's always that. It never moves either. It's really impressive, but now it's a circulator, and it's made just for this. So I'm dropping this in. There goes that steak. They're both pretty much identical. We're going to check this temp one more time, just to make sure it hadn't went way up or anything. And if it did, it ain't a crisis. You just take a little time off, you know, or, you know, adjust some things. Well, and it is hot. I'm not going to lie. It's hotter than I like. So maybe when you set this up, take away 5 degrees or whatever. But it's consistent all the way across the pot. And for it not being a circulator, that is impressive. But as you can see, we're 12 degrees high. So you might want to adjust the temp. But anyhow, we're off and running. I'm going to leave it at 142. We'll see what a 142 steak looks like. How about that? We're going to take this down to 2 hours. Press start. Learned that a while ago. You have to press start or it does something weird. And I'll be back, and we're going to see how these do. I may check it every once in a while to make sure the temp don't go way past the 12 degrees over. But anyhow, I'll be back. And since we got a few minutes, obviously, I'm going to show you a little bit of this just to give you an idea of their sous vide chart. Now, I think that boneless ribeye twice may be a typo, but I don't know that. They may have changed it just because they're giving you different temps. But there's their charts right there, and that is for beef and pork. And then, like I said, you can screenshot that if you need to, you know, look into getting stuff you need or something. And here's chicken, which I have videos now. I have a video on chicken breast. Man, you'll not find a better way to cook a chicken breast. And I'll link that video, by the way. And let's see, that's steam. So it's obviously got other functions. You know, there's no need of me showing them all. But I have videos of an Instant Pot that does this. They only have one that's anywhere near comparable to that. And that is their Duo Evo Plus, and I'll link that video, and you can kind of compare the two. But I did the same thing with them as I'm doing here, which is I compared it against the ANOVA. But you can look at that one to see how that one did. And I'll try and link a couple of my sous vide just to give you an idea of maybe how to, looking at the way the what they refer to here is the displacement method. And if you don't know what that is, it's where you don't have to have a vacuum sealer bag. You take a Ziploc bag and you submerge it in the water and let the water push all the air out without letting water get in, and then you seal it. But if you're going to do a lot of sous vide, like I said, just get a vacuum sealer. You'll appreciate it. You'll thank yourself for it. But anyhow, see y'all in about an hour and 56 minutes. Okay, so we are 23 minutes in, so let's just see what the temp has done now. And everything looks good. The steak's on the bottom. Well, it's rested to almost exact temp. And both sides, I'm going to say all the way across the pot is 133. Take my word. I'm happy with that. We will probably check it again, and just like always, if I don't, I'll get somebody will say something. So here we go with this one, 130. Again, I hope you can see that. Okay, I thought it would be a good idea to do a temp check at 1 hour, so we'll have an idea if we're still around the 133 mark. So here we go. And I may flip it. I may flip this steak just because it's not a circulator, and I think it's not a bad idea. But here we go with temps. Well, we are dead on 130. Let's see what it looks like across. It took it a minute to get to that temp, and I just can't imagine that being bad. I mean, I would have rather it had stuck at 130, honestly. But it's at 130 now and was at 133 in 20 minutes, and quite honestly, there's nothing wrong with that. So we'll leave that running, and again, just to make everybody that gets me on technicalities, we'll look at this right quick here too. 130, spot on, like always. Yeah, I got so excited, I didn't flip it, so that's what I'm going to do. And it's probably not necessary, I mean, but I'm going to. And I can kind of show it to you, by the way. You can see the butter in there. And the butter, as you saw when I put it in, it wasn't, I had it in one spot. Well, when it gets in that heat, it gets all the way around it. So there it is, flipped. We're back up and running. And I'm going to push it down just a little bit. Whoops. And we are there. Be back, this time really in an hour. Okay, so I may get on my soapbox one more time about smoke points of oil. And I'm going to be quick as I can, but everybody keeps recommending oils that I just want you to know. I want you to know what you decide what you think is best. They recommend canola oil to do this sear in. And I don't know what temp their medium high is, but if it's above 400 degrees, then canola is going to smoke. Well, not only does it smoke and smoke up the house, and you get that a lot, and I'm not complaining. I just, like I said, take that and use it for what you will. I use avocado. It's top of the chart, and I have no reason. Nobody's paying me. It's top of the chart. It doesn't, yeah, it'll smoke, but it's the last one to smoke. And not only that, once one smokes, it's burnt and it gets bitter and it adds a flavor. And I don't know why I always do this, but I just want everybody that watches my channel to know I think anything up here, even clarified butter, a lot of people love it. I do, but usually I use avocado. But they recommend canola. They do in a lot of their recipes. If you know you're below 400, then yeah, canola's fine. And I'm not going to stay on this long because we have 14 minutes left, and I'm going to sear them in that pot. I have another one set up and was actually considering it, but this is done so well, I'm going to use that particular device to do it with. And I'm going to get over there because I want to do one more temp check at whatever we're at, 1 hour and 45 minutes, just to see where we're at right now, because you might want to know. And here it is. Wow. That is plenty good for me. 129 all the way across the pot. All right, we are completed with our 2 hours. And now it wants me to, I'll obviously have to pull the steak out. I'll do that. I'm going to dry it off, and I'm going to leave it sitting in the vacuum sealed package. And then I'm going to, you know, dry it off, whatever. And then it wants me to select medium high on sear saute. So I got to dump the water out, dry it out real well, do sear saute medium high for 5 minutes, and then add the 2 tablespoons of, it wanted canola, but I've got my avocado oil right here. So I'm about to get that started. In fact, let's pull it out right now. And put this right here. I'll get the steak out. And with that butter and all on there, it looks good, and I assure you it's going to be. Now, they're not the prettiest thing on earth before you sear them. So I'm going to leave it just like that. I may try and dry it a little bit, but the main thing I have to do right now, I'm going to go ahead and turn it off. And I got to get that water out. I'm going to dry it, and then we're going to go with the sear saute for 5 minutes. Be back. Okay, I poured the water out. And by the way, this one can stay in there up to 5 hours or 3 more hours, and it's not going to hurt. That's the other beauty of sous vide. You don't have to be in a hurry. You can do it and have a window of time to get your stuff ready. Whenever you're ready to eat, I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to hit sear saute. It wanted medium high, so I'm going to go down 1 notch to medium high, hit start. Now, in 5 minutes, which is 12:01, at 12:06, I will add the 2 tablespoons of oil, and I'll have this. I'm gonna let this sit here for 3 or 4 minutes, and then I'll cut it open, drain that sauce or drain that juices out, and dry it off real well with a paper towel. Now, you could use those juices. I'm not going to, but they even describe it in the book here a little bit somewhere about using it, but I'm not going to. We're just going to sear that steak and see how it does, but I'll be back. Okay, I'm going to explain what I'm going to do with this, and it is another of an advantage of using sous vide. This steak is obviously as good as that one. There's no reason for me to sear it and cook it tonight, or sear it tonight, because I'm not going to eat 2 steaks. Well, one of the other things about this is all you have to do is pull it out, dry it off, don't even unwrap it. It's completely cooked, it's ready to go, and it'll look just like this one when you cut it open. So what I'm going to do is pull it out, dry it off, put it in the refrigerator, and tomorrow night I can put it in here for like 20 or 30 minutes at 130 because it's already cooked, and then sear it. Once it's heated, gets a heat up to around 130, and then all you have to do is sear it. And you can do this with many steaks. If you were in a hurry and were trying to feed a crowd, you could do, 4 or 5 steaks and do this same thing. It does not hurt. You can't tell the difference. I've done it. So that's what I'm doing with this one. And we're going to get this one over here ready and get it seared and see how it looks. And I got a feeling it's going to be good. I'm really impressed with how the Ninja did. Okay, we are there at 12:06. I've dried this one off. It's ready. Here's the oil going in. And everything looks good. It does run out of the center, so I may have to do a little, finagling on that to get it covered, but I'm fixing to do it. So we're going to drop it in and see what happens. I'm just going to spin the steak around in there and get that side coated. Woo, I like to make a little bit of a mess. I did make a little bit of a mess. But we're going to let that sit. I think it calls for 2 minutes on each side. Let's see what it says. Yep, 2 minutes. It says right here to the bag, pat, dry with paper towel. So we're going to do 12:09. It looks like 3 minutes, but we're probably almost done with that 06. So I'm going to 12:09 on one side. We're going to see how it looks. Be back. Okay, we're really close to 12:09. Should be clicking over in about 3 seconds, and just there you go, 12:09. I'm going to flip it, and we're going to see what one side looks like. Now I'm not sure it's seared enough, but we're going to look. Oh no, I'm wrong. It don't look bad. That looks pretty good. That looks really good. Back in. And again, I got to get it coated on that side with that avocado. And you can see there is no smoke. Now, I mean, although it looks good, I'm kind of anxious, and I probably will try the high. Just not medium high, but just go wide open sear. But, you know, they recommended medium high, so that's why I'm doing it. So anyhow, we got to wait on, say, I don't know, we're going to go 12, 11. We're going to look at it after this, but 12 o'clock and 11 after. All right, just so we'll know, we're about to click over. There it went. Let's see what it looks like after 2 minutes on this side. And you know something? That's really not bad. I may get the edges a minute because the edges need it just a little bit. In just a second, I may leave them there 30 seconds on each side, just because I can. But you saw it; it looked really good. As a matter of fact, I don't want it to go much further. We're going to just pull it out. Now, outside, when I'm outside at my cast iron skillet over a gas burner, I use a torch on these edges. I just do. I take a torch and kind of burn around and kind of sear that fat real good. I'm going to turn that off to keep it from getting out of control. And I'm going to let that steak sit just a minute, because that's exactly what they called for right there. Now, whether I would have done it maybe a little bit longer or maybe a little bit hotter, I don't know. But you can see it does not look bad. It's plenty hot, but it doesn't look bad at all. I think that's a good looking steak. So we're going to let it rest just a minute, and which you don't really have to with this, but I'm going to where I can get my act together, and I'll be back. We're going to cut it. All right, I'm about to cut it, and then of course I got to make those YouTube pictures I make, but I wanted you to see when I cut it. So right here it is, and I have a good feeling about it, and it does look good. In fact, it looks perfect, and that is what the edge-to-edge perfection they talk about with sous vide. Right there it is, edge to edge. Now that's the 130 degree that Ninja actually called for, and it's what I eat mine at. A lot of people don't like them that red, but I do, and I think they're fantastic. I eat them all the time at that temp. And not to mention that, I mean, if you wanted to go 150, you go whatever temp you want in here, and you get the doneness you want. It is extremely hard to beat this method for a perfectly cooked steak. And you just saw the edge to edge, and I'm going to leave it at that. I will show it to you a little bit closer. That's it right there. That is a steak. Now I'm not going to lie, I'm going to make some pictures, and then we're going to finish this video up because I got some other things we got to do. In fact, you've got the unboxing coming up, so y'all bear with me. I'll be back. Okay, there it is. And I promise you, that's one of the best steaks you'll ever eat at your house. And I'm not just saying it. That's just the way this works. It is excellent. It's something you pay a lot of money for at a restaurant. And I really, truly think you'll love it. And the Ninja Foodie did it excellent. It really did. Now, I've already tasted it just a little bit, and it was just what it's supposed to be. But hey, I want to say this too. I'm fixing to, you got the unboxing thing coming up, so anyhow, but if you saw something on this video you liked, I bought this today just for this. How about doing me a thumbs up? I would appreciate that. I really would. I'm going to taste this steak, and I promise this device is worth what they want. I'll just put it like that. And that steak is excellent. And anyhow, in case you're not going to watch the unboxing, I love y'all all. Come back to see me. Hey, if you've never done sous vide and you want a Ninja Foodie that'll pressure cook, air fry, steam, tender crisp, and all kinds of stuff, give it a try. Y'all have a good night. Love y'all. Bye-bye. Okay, so if you're seeing this, you've already saw me sous vide these steaks and you'll know the outcome of them. I don't at this point, but I'm going to show you what the box and all looks like and what it comes with, which is things like this right here, a 45 mouth-watering recipes, and quite honestly, a lot of them are some I have seen before, and I won't show you all of them, but you've seen some of them before if you've ever had a foodie. Here's the one we're going to base by tonight because it calls for New York strips. Now, I'm not going completely by any of that. I'm going to pretty much roll with my own, but it does have, my point is, it does have sous vide recipes. I've seen more than one. In fact, here's one I want to try, the blueberry cheesecake. But other than that, it comes with just getting to know your foodie stuff, and I mean, it's common sense, and you've seen these things before too, and that kind of stuff. So, and a few other little things here. So, I mean, it's not that big a deal. Here's what I paid for it. Somebody said one time I should show my receipt to prove that I buy my own stuff, and Ninja does not give it to me, and I don't even have links on my page. I'm not affiliated in any way, shape, form, or fashion at this time. I never have been, and I'm not at this time. But here we go on how it's designed. If you remember the first original 6.5 quart foodie, it's really close in size and design and all. It definitely has different buttons, but how you used to get this right here with the other Ninja and the collapsible rack, well, now you get this. And I kind of like this. I don't have a problem with it at all. You set this in the bottom like this, and this is your, let's see, it had it explained right here. This is your cook and crisp plate. And then you also get this broil rack, and you get this in place of your collapsible trivet. So you set that in there when you want to broil a steak or something on top, or when you're, trying to get something pretty hot using the broil feature. The lid, identical. The pot, I mean, I won't say identical. It's really close. The pot, the same way. I feel positive these pots would interchange with the first 6.5 quart. I don't know that, but it looks a lot like it would. Now, I'm going to kind of move some of this back and give you a look at this box, but I'm going to do that, and I'll be right back. Hold on. Okay, here is the artwork, I call it, on the box, and it's the Pro pressure cooker that crisp. And then you can see what else it says here, pressure cook, air crisp. The stuff it normally says on all the boxes, and then tender crisp, which is, all of that is very, very wonderful. It works real well. It's a great idea. 1460 watt Foodie pressure cooker with attached crisping lid. And then here you go with the rest of it. And you can kind of rate it, maybe pause it if you need to. And that's about it right there. Right here's this side, just to kind of repeat some of the things that's already said. 5-pound chicken. Now that's a big deal, because a lot of things nowadays, you can't get a 5-pound chicken in it. Here's a few more pictures of some of the things you can do, and looks really good. Let's see if there's anything else that needs to be said. There's, if you want to know the wattages and model numbers, there it is. So, pretty much what I'm going to do is get this and the ANOVA set up, and we're fixing to see how well it sous vides, because that's the main thing it does. And again, at the end of this, I'm going to bring out the DELUXE and the original, set it all side by side, and you'll be able to see that. So, I'll be back. Okay, I went and got my original, the first Ninja I ever bought, 6.5 quart, just to show you the differences pretty much of the one that's available now. The one that's available now on Ninja's website is a different model number, so it is a slightly different functions on the front and a couple other things, but the size and the look is pretty much identical. Here's the new one, which the key factor here, this one's $199. The one Ninja, the 6.5 quart Ninja similar to this one, is $239. So you get more features and a stainless finish for like $40 cheaper, and you get a yogurt and a sous vide added in. So I mean, this is definitely going to be the better deal. The biggest difference would be the basket design, and I explained that earlier, so you know what to expect there. Now, the DELUXE, which I will say it's a stainless steel finish also. and it is an 8 quart. Now I'm assuming they're going to make a Pro in the 8, but I have no idea. I'm not sure. I have no way of knowing. But the only thing pretty much that matters here is it doesn't have sous vide. It will do yogurt, and it looks real similar. You can see there are some differences, but it is a stainless sides and it looks good. I think these right here look a lot better. The fact that this one's cheaper than this one, kind of a no-brainer, unless you really like that basket and that trivet design. So there gives you an idea of what the 8 quart compared to the 6.5 side by side looks like. So I'm fixing to start the sous vide part, and hopefully it's going to work out just great, and that will make this one right here the one to buy if you're okay with a 6.5 quart. But that means this video is over, and I hope y'all enjoyed it. Like I said, I hope what I've done helped, and if it did, please throw me a thumbs up, and I'd appreciate that. Y'all have a good night. I love y'all all. Come back to see me. Bye-bye.